Good evening, good people. It's your girl Nicole, and I'm coming to you live from the Beauty for Ashes room. Y'all know what day it is. That's right, it's Wednesday. I hope you all had a good and productive day today. Welcome to the 12th episode of season 3 of Home Speak. All right, so tonight I'll be coming from the topic focus. What has your attention? So let's just dive right in and see if we can unpack this topic. Now, if you follow me, then you know what's next. That's right, I gotta give you a definition. So, focus is defined as the center of interest or activity. It's the state of quality of having or producing clear visual definitions. It's giving a lot of attention to one specific thing or one specific person. Focus in your spiritual life means something is central to you and what you're doing spiritually. Now, being focused also means that you have clear goals and objectives, and your work is dedicated to achieving those very goals and those objectives. So being focused is important because it is directly linked to productivity. It's important because it's a gateway to how we think. And you know, with all the countless distractions that we have daily, vying for our attention on a daily basis, staying focused allows us to dedicate our time and energy to the task at hand. And by eliminating unnecessary diversions, we can complete tasks more efficiently. We can meet our deadlines and we can achieve better outcomes for the things that we're doing. Basically said, if we stop procrastinating and focus, we can get things done. And also, people with a focused mindset are highly conscientious and very empathetic. Without good focus, all aspects of your ability to think will suffer. If you can't focus effectively, you can't think effectively. And one of the most powerful things we can control in our lives is focus. It has the power to define what we see, how we feel, and or how we react and respond to certain things. And our focus can determine if we see ourselves one way through our carnal vision or if we see ourselves as God sees us. So again, our focus determines a lot of things. It's beneficial to a lot of things working positively, productively, in the way that it should be, right? Now, as it relates to our Christian walk, we must keep our focus on God. There's no other focus in our Christian walk but kingdom assignment, godly assignment, and God himself, right? So in order for us to remain focused on God's purpose, we must keep the main thing on our minds. And of course, we all know the main thing is Jesus Christ, right? He should be our point of focus because he is the reason for everything. You can't have nothing without him, right? But if we tell the truth, sometimes, if not most, we are not focused on the things of God. We're focused on worldly things, right? We're focused on doing things our own way. We're focused on our fleshly desires. And that's the one that really gets us in trouble, right? So my first question for you on tonight, y'all know I love questions. What are you focused on? Where is your attention? Are you focused on what God has called you to do, on your kingdom assignment, or are you focused on doing your own thing? Where is your focus? Now, sometimes, and of course, because we are human, we veer off the path that he has set for us, and we do just what we want to do. Sometimes we fall. Sometimes we intentionally do it. Sometimes we're just being selfish because we just want what we want, right? So we shift and we lose our focus. And when we do that, we dishonor God. We dismiss his instructions, and it's only for so long that God will let us carry on doing whatever we want before he steps in for redirection. So if you are unfocused, you're not seeing clearly and you're not hearing clearly. So what is it going to have to take to get you to refocus on what you're supposed to be doing? What is going to have to happen to you, happen around you, happen to people that you know that are connected to you? What is it going to take for you to refocus on God? Because when you're focused, the work gets done. But you must be focused on the right things. I need y'all to catch what I'm saying. Focus and focus on the right things are two different things, right? And as I said before, you can only be so unfocused for so long before God will interrupt the pattern. God will allow certain things to happen, or he himself will cause certain things to happen to you just so he can get your attention. So he can get you back in line within his will. And for let me use this for an example. Let's talk about Saul. I like talking about Saul. Jesus did it with Saul on the road to Damascus. See, as we all know, if you read the story, and I hope you have, Saul was going after believers of Christ, and he was focused on that. He was focused on taking Christians out. He was focused on the wrong thing. He was focused on doing his things his own way because of the way he believed, right? So to get Saul on the right path, to get him to focus on the right thing, Jesus had to come down. Jesus interrupted his pattern. And what did Jesus do? He blinded him. He blinded him temporarily, and he interrupted Saul's plans. He blinded him from his carnal vision so he could see with his spiritual eyes what he was called to do, which was to spread the gospel of Jesus. Jesus had to come down and show him something different to get his focus straight, to show him who he really was. And like I said, I hope y'all have read the story so you can understand what I'm saying. So let me ask you this next question. Does Jesus need to do you the same way? Does he need to blind you temporarily? Does he need to interrupt your plans so you can see God for who he is? So you can see as God sees? So you can be focused on him and what he has called for you to do? Can you handle being blinded even for a moment? Woo, that's good. I need y'all to answer that question to yourself. Can you handle an interruption and redirection of your own path, of your own plans? I want you all to ask yourself these questions as I ask them. Think about it. Think about it. Can you handle any of that? Now, the other consequence about not being focused is it will dilute your discernment. It waters it down. When you are unfocused, your discernment is inactive. It's dormant. It's silent. It's pressed down. It's ignored. It'll be so subtle that you can't even hear it. You can't even feel it. You can't even understand what you're seeing, what you're hearing, because it's diluted, because you're not focused. Now, another example is, look at Samson. His carnal eyes had him so distracted, and his focus shifted to all things Delilah. I hope y'all read that story. But so much so that he would have done absolutely anything. He lost his focus at that time because of Delilah, because of the lust that he had for her, or what he was calling love. And Delilah used that. She used his love against him. She nagged him and she nagged him until he finally gave up his secret, that his power came from his hair. So she used his love against him, and she manipulated him into revealing his secret. And unfortunately for him, he lost focus. And the cost of giving up his secret was not only that he lost his power, but the worst part about it all, and this is just my opinion, is that God left him. God left him in that moment. And I believe that's a steep price. That was a steep price to pay, but all this happened because he lost focus. I'm not trying to pay that kind of price to just because I want what I want right then in the moment. That was a steep price to pay. And like I said earlier, being unfocused, it dilutes your discernment. And that's what happened with Samson. He couldn't see what really was happening because he lost focus, right? So Delilah's tricks would have never worked had he remained focused on what he was called to do, what he was supposed to be doing. He would have been able to distinguish between her deception and the truth. But who does that sound like? That sounds like us, don't it? We lose focus very quickly. We lose focus on God. We take our eyes off God and we give all our attention to a particular person or a particular thing, to a thing that we want. We want it so bad, right? And we give up everything in exchange just so we can have what we want or who we want. We give it up freely and it ends up costing us more than we were ever willing to pay or more than we thought we could even afford. So go here with me for a minute. Can you imagine losing your focus so much so that it causes God to step away from you? It causes God to leave you. Now, God didn't completely abandon Samson. He just left him long enough so the consequences of his action would take him through some things. The consequences of his decisions had to play out naturally, right? We all know we're grown, we're adults. We know there are consequences to every choice, to every action. So God had to show him. God had to let him feel the consequences to his decision about being unfocused. So the question is, can you pay that kind of price? Can you afford that kind of price? Is your focus on the worldly things and people more precious to you, more valuable to you than your focus on God and His will for your life? Or even the assignment that He's tasked you with, or the anointing that He's blessed you with, or the mantle that He's placed on your shoulders? He's rested everything on you. So what's more important to you? His plans for your life or your fleshly, worldly desires? We all have a choice, right? That we will give our attention to. We all have a choice on what we give our attention to and what we will focus on. So what will your choice be tonight? What will you focus on? Will it be on you and your desires, or will it be on God and His will for your life? That's the question of the hour. Now, if you're off task, refocus. If you're going the wrong way, turn around. Or if you're doing the wrong thing, stop it. Shift your focus back to God. He'll help you. You just have to want it. And you just have to ask Him. He's not going to force it on you. So again, I ask, where is your focus? What are you focused on? What has your attention? Because if we stay focused on God, if we stay focused on Him and seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Simply put, if you and I remain focused on God, He will give us what we need. And notice I said He's going to give us what we need, not what we want. So good people, that is all I have for you on tonight. I pray that something has been said that will cause you to shift your focus back to the things of God, back to kingdom work. And if you're already there, do your best to remain where you are. Do your best to remain focused on God and watch him work. Let God do the rest. So stay focused. Stay focused. It's necessary for this walk with God. I thank you all for listening. You all can follow me on my Facebook page, Home Speaks. You can follow me on my YouTube channel for my weekly Wednesday podcast and all things ministry under Nicole Holmes, Beauty for Ashes. You can follow me on Spotify for my weekly Wednesday podcast, Home Speaks. You can also visit my website, Beauty for Ashes 8, that is the number 8.com, to purchase my book, Beauty for Ashes, the story behind the breakthrough, or you can also find it on Amazon. And as always, if nothing else, remember, you are appreciated, you are needed, you are valued, you are heard, and most of all, you are loved. And every day, not just yesterday, not only for today, and not hopefully for tomorrow, but every day you wake up, God will give you beauty for ashes. I'm your host, Nicole, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.